Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Gulfstream Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another Friday Fun Day edition of the Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We are in our usual place, and that is 10 Palms at Gulfstream Park, where there's horses running around in circles. And we've got Tony Segreto, we've got Chef Defo DeForest, we've got Mike Lubie Lubitz. I don't have any sound in my ears. It just cut out right now, but that's okay. We just keep rolling along. How are you today, Chef Defo DeForest?
I'm good. A wild morning. Anytime you have to take in a doctor's appointment, a Mustang with a little bit of an injury. And so 10:30 appointment. She finally gets in there at 11:30, even though the place was relatively empty. And, the diagnosis was not necessarily favorable. A torn rotator cuff possibility. So there goes the left-hander in the bullpen. Tony, isn't that something like, Rich Hill from the Dodgers or whatever? Oh, a torn rotator cuff. But hopefully it won't be that, the MRI to come. So we'll
find out the course of action. Does this impede her ability to either A, play slot machines, or B, do a little bit of work at her,
she had to blow off her shift this week at Fishdale's. I will say this, though, Mike Mayo, and I thought of you in virtually every bite. Because I got the Sunday gravy meatballs and sausage from Fishdale's. She brought some home Sunday night. I guess they had a little bit left over. And it lasted me until yesterday. I finally finished it off. One portion of this stuff. And I'm telling you, we have to go there with a show because it is the best meatballs and gravy I've had anywhere, anytime.
Usually a Monday is good.
Anything, yeah.
We have a lot of Monday slots open. I know that usually they make the Sunday gravy on Sunday. So we could get it fresh, the day after. A lot of times with those sauces and gravies,
yes,
it's better.
It kept getting better.
Like meatloaf. Meatloaf is better the next day.
But she makes a really dynamite meatball. I know a lot of people have different recipes for them and different sizes and all this. This is absolutely perfect. It's not like a bowling ball like you get at Monterano, that size. And Cafe Bellicera used to be famous because Pete, the chef there and owner, came from Monterano, and he kind of did an extrapolation on what they were doing there. As good a meatball, I know you had the meatball contest there with the Red Meat Lovers Club.
And that place, 369, I'm sorry.
338
my brain
or something.
Is gone.
Yeah.
Mr. 380.
388.
I tell you what, since I stopped drinking, my brain is completely gone kaput. I can't remember anything.
That's sort of what Defo was expecting.
And I'm falling apart. And
I don't recommend sobriety.
I might fall off the wagon on tomorrow. I'm going to an event at the South Beach Wine and Food Festival.
Yeah, you haven't even mentioned it yet.
No, well, we're going to get to it because actually Joe Beja is down there today. It's Industry Day.
Get down here.
And he might be doing a phone-in live report from the Sobe Fest at the Industry Trade Day, which is always a fun event. He's supposedly maybe going to get in touch with him at about 1:30.
Yeah, it's our hope.
Well, what do they start? They start with that Burger Bash.
Burger Bash is like a big
was the
thing now,
opening
right?
night.
It's funny. They had their Burger Bash last night. Rachel Ray has been the longtime host. And,
she was out there?
I used to go to that. I used to write it all up and try to eat all 30-something burgers, which I do not recommend to anybody.
No, that's a lot.
Oh, Jesus.
But the thing with that last
Holy
night
wimpy,
is the participants do get to kind of create their own burgers,
Oh,
but
interesting.
they all use their same meat and the same buns is provided by one central purveyor because it's the name of the meat company is Schweid and Sons. I think it's out of New York. And so everybody uses the same meat, which kind of levels the playing field. The interesting part is they have a judges award, which went to like a local place that's owned by an Argentinian guy. And then there's a People's Choice Award. And the People's Choice went to a place that is started in, I believe it's Brazil or Argentina, but it's all over South America. There's like 14 of them in South America. And now there's 4 of them in South Florida. And it's a place I went to and absolutely did not like the burger at all and trashed it here.
Of course.
La Birra Bar.
Oh, yeah.
La Birra
that doesn't
Bar.
mean it's bad, Tony. That Mayo didn't
Well,
like it.
Mayo didn't like it.
Mayo,
Yeah.
if Mike bashes it, I gotta give it a second. I gotta
Think
You
about
might
it.
want to go and formulate your own opinion.
Yeah,
Although
100%.
Well, I mean, you didn't like it because of the sort of the braggadocio nature that they had the world's best burgers.
I didn't like it for several reasons. Number
Okay.
one, they post the world's best burger in neon,
That
which
immediately, I know how
Bothers
you get.
Mayo.
Man. Look, Lubie and I, we've been doing this a long time. We know how you were influenced.
right. But if
Yeah.
like I love the way the Southport Raw Bar, they have a grilled burger that they do out back, and they have a nice grill where they do their oysters and some other chicken breasts, and they just call their burger a damn good burger.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
that,
there's nothing wrong with that.
that is
When you
that's a
boast
good,
and say it's
accurate.
the best burger
Yeah.
or the best anything.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has different opinions and tastes. And,
But La Birra Bar, again, the one I went to in Oakland Park, which is right across from our friend Angela Elia's Bakery Bar, which is a great place, by the way. But La Birra Bar, it opened here in Broward in Oakland Park probably about 8 months ago. And it got some good buzz on the Let's Eat group. But, most of them are it's smash burgers, which that's the second
See,
thing.
I'm not a big fan of the smash burger.
Right.
I,
So
I want a nice thick burger.
two strikes
All right,
right away.
yeah.
They do, they the braggadocio and the smash burgers is what they specialize in. Now the burger that we got there,
It's funny, the smash burger reminds me of probably the worst burger chain anywhere in America, and that was Carol's Hamburgers, which was a big upstate New York thing.
never heard
So
of
they
that.
had
one.
it at Syracuse. I mean, it was reasonable, except they put mustard on a burger. So a guy from New York City wants no part of that. Kind of like your daughter putting ketchup on a hot dog, where you want to disown the kid as much as you love her.
When you put ketchup
And,
on spaghetti,
But
that's
I mean,
really
the
bad.
smash burger reminded me of like when we used to be on the bus, going to Rochester to play a baseball game, and then somebody had sat on your sack of burgers, and so that's the effect. I'd rather have a nice, thick, juicy burger like you get at Gilbert's or Sheffrey Eats or some of these other
Why
places.
don't
No,
you-
I like a big hefty burger. And the
Oh.
problem was, okay, I could live with a smash burger if it's well executed and if they use good quality meat.
How did
and you
that
still
start though?
and
By
you get a
accident?
little. No, well, I mean, it was a thing back in cheeseburger. The not the chain, but the John Belushi skit. A lot of these diners and restaurants, especially taverns in the Midwest, would have the flat top grill, and they would just smash
is
them
White
down.
Castle / Royal Castle that kind of a burger? Like,
That-
is that an
I
early
would-
precursor to that?
Those are steamed, actually.
Those aren't
And
smash burgers. So,
they're
I mean, those
they're
are like
steamed like
another
sliders.
category.
No, because I get it. There's still meat. I guess the real smash burgers are the one where it's so smashed that it's all
Right.
the
Everything
crust and
is
all that.
crust.
There's barely any meat
It's
in
all
it.
well, it's meat, but it's been
mean, you know what I
rendered
mean, like
into
juicy.
carcinogenic crust. Which
I'm not sure that the
Why don't you
Castle burgers are meat.
do a review of all the fast foods and make a decision?
We-
and this
he's
place
done
isn't
plenty of
just fast food. This
Tony, he
place,
secretly loves fast food.
no.
Loves.
I used to. I don't know if he
cut
does
The
now.
that
whole
out.
show could be just fast food,
So,
and
all
we'd
right,
be fine.
getting back to La Birra Bar. So it is one of these smash burger places, but they use grass-fed, I think, Argentine meat.
How do we
which-
know that? They say that? Okay.
They say that.
Yeah, they
and-
say it.
But
Yeah,
the
they
thing
say it.
is, grass-fed is a little bit different texture. It's a lot, I'd say, drier and leaner than American corn-fed beef. And in the case of the burgers that I got at La Birra, they were dry, they were clumpy, they had little hunks of gristle in
Did you
it.
talk to a manager?
I did. I talked to a guy because he came over and he said,
Oh, he definitely did.
"Yeah, I didn't eat the whole thing." And I said, "I got to tell you," I said,
Hey,
"It's
what is this?
it's not my favorite."
Oh
And,
wow!
but
You went right at him.
Oh no, Mayo.
no, but
Did
there's
he know
nothing
who
to
you were?
do because it's not like you can replace it because all they do is these smash burgers with different toppings. But you know what? God bless them. The people love them. They made one.
People love that.
They
place.
made one at the Burger Bash
And
the
they
other
won?
night that they won.
They
And
won.
Skinny Louie's was the judge's choice. It was a panel of judges,
Sounds like a good
and
place.
La Birra Bar won the People's Choice Award. And
Wow.
you know what? Good luck to them. I
Let me-
mean,
let me ask you a
obviously
question.
now they're gonna if they posted in big Leon Lights, winner of the South Beach Best Burger.
And that's a big
Well,
deal.
that's
Yeah.
a
that,
big deal.
that is
That's
accurate.
a big deal.
It's a nice accolade.
And food is subjective.
In the South Beach Food and Wine Festival, though, I'm thinking it's just Dade County places.
yeah, they have people from all over the
Universal.
place.
I mean, because this is a place in Broward, obviously you went to, but they might have other locations.
Well, they have locations all throughout Miami-Dade. The event, the festival itself, which is now in its 26th year or something
wow.
like that, and it ties into this week's contest. We'll get into that in a minute. But they basically at one point had events in both Broward and Palm Beach counties, and then they've scaled back and are now just all their events are back in Miami-Dade.
Yep.
mainly because now we have
But
festival.
the participants, they're only Dade County? Or?
No, they have
Oh,
a
okay.
restaurant. In
They're
fact,
all over.
one of the restaurants that participated, well, our friends Dave and
Didn't Keel?
yeah, even Keel
Oh, they were down there?
participates
Yeah.
every
Wow.
year.
All right.
The guys from Temple Street Eatery, Alex
yeah,
and
yeah.
Diego, participate every year. And Daniel's Restaurant, which is
Oh,
the new
nice.
steakhouse in Fort Lauderdale, right around the corner from my house, they participated with their double smash cheeseburger
I
that
love
they're
this guy.
featuring at their new sports bar.
Nice.
It's called D's Sports Bar. It opened up on Super Bowl Sunday.
How'd they do?
But-
Were they ranked?
Well, no, but the Herald put a nice picture of the chef Dan Gannon
that's
in there with his burger.
Yeah, you
And
take that.
so the answer to your questions are yes, there are many Broward and Palm Beach
Okay,
restaurants that participate in the events in South Beach, but there are no longer any South Beach Festival events in Broward or Palm Beach counties,
Okay.
probably because both of those counties now have their own
Their
food
own
festivals.
yeah.
Palm Beach in December, and of course Phil and Kate and the great
Phil and Kate
Greater
were
Fort
killing it.
Lauderdale. Visit
I have
Lauderdale.
a question for you.
Yeah.
Go,
You
go,
go
ahead.
you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and the festival that we just had in Visit Lauderdale,
Food and
all
Wine
over
Festival, yeah.
Broward and Fort Lauderdale in January. So that has become its own thing. And, you know, the people at the Convention and Visitors Bureau in Broward, Stacy Ritter,
Yeah,
says, why are we having events that are branded with South Beach? How does that help Greater Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah.
So they wanted more things
Well,
that
they've done a
will-
good job at covering the whole Broward. Again, like when you think South Beach, you think Miami, right? A lot of times people think Fort Lauderdale and you just think out east,
Yeah.
when in reality,
we got soups on.
what's great about the Fort
Super
Lauderdale,
Zero,
Visit
baby.
Lauderdale
Yeah.
is it actually, like you're saying, it covers all, like Broward, the greater, all of Broward, like out
Yeah,
west,
it's
Davie, all that area is really considered Greater
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale.
look.
So, and they've done a great job at encompassing all of that.
The South Beach Wine and Food Festival is the first. It's the biggest. I don't know if you can call
What
it
is
the
it, like
best.
25 years?
You just said 26 years.
Yeah, they've been on the beach since 2002. They started off as just a small festival because it is raising funds for the FIU Hospitality School.
Oh, that's
they have
cool.
a school
All
of
right.
hospitality management
Worthwhile.
called the Chaplain School.
Yeah.
I'm sure Tony is very familiar with that. The first couple of years, they held it right on campus, and you know it was like 30,000 people, and they raised a couple of thousand. You know, they raised $30,000, a couple of thousand people, and then somebody pushed the founder Lee Schrager to move to South Beach, and we're going to get into that in a second. It's part of the contest. What is your question, Tony Segreto?
I forgot it.
Hey, went on for like an hour there, Mayo. Way to explain everything.
No.
I have some
What's the
questions
best-
too. What is it?
What's the best burger you've had?
Oh, your
Oh,
favorite burger?
Well, okay, so and you know this is a loaded question because there's so many burgers in the world. So we're going to go to South Florida. And we're going to reduce it to just places in the three counties, and
Yeah.
I'm going to give you four places in the different counties.
It's almost like a setup question.
Yeah.
He's four
Thank you.
places ready to go.
He's very political about it because we have a lot of burgers we're involved with. So
Okay.
Mayo handles it very politically.
In Broward County, I love Gilbert's. They're one of our
Great job.
sponsors, but I love them since a
Great
long time
job.
before we started
Nobody
this show.
could complain
They
about
do a
going.
great job.
I love because those are the steak burgers, the big, thick, juicy burgers.
They're great.
And they use quality meat. I love Gilbert's. I also love the place that's up in Wilton Manors called Burgers and
Yep.
Beers. A little guy from Ohio. I mean, he's not a little guy. It's a little shop. A guy from Ohio named Joe. He has any way you want your burger. He has a flat top, so you could smash it. And he also has like a flame broiled, kind of char grill, so you can get a nice burger. He'll do it in a cast iron skillet if you want your burger like that.
Wow.
It's a very small place.
That's a
And
great
just-
way to make a burger.
It's great.
It
My
is,
mom- that's
yeah.
what I grew up with. My
That
mom
was a
did that all the
great
time.
name.
He's
For, like, Hebrew school.
fantastic. I love that. I love the whole aura about the
I
place.
wouldn't go this way.
So the
They really
bottom
block-
line is that people are going to do whatever they
We
want
already
to do
blocked
here
it. We
at
already
Gulfstream
blocked
Park.
Our server was like,
That's
that wasn't even
impressive.
my idea. I
I'm
was trying to leave
surprised
it
you didn't
open,
ask
and
where
the
the men's
server's
room
like,
was while they
put
were
this
open.
here, block them.
Here, do you want some ziti too?
Exactly, like-
Some pasta slider.
A couple of things here.
No, Lubie, I got to give Lubie credit. He sets it up like he sets up
I didn't do
chairs.
it.
He
The
thinks-
server
Lubie
was trying to
saved
help
you
me.
from going broke yesterday. That money you made on the house. I mean, when that chef came with the whole fish,
No.
at the Mai Kai, and Lubie cut him off from and almost dropped the fish
He
on
was
the
about
floor.
to break all the equipment yesterday.
No, he was going to trip over the wiring, and then
100%.
there was all. And that's when I divorced myself in the whole show.
Yeah, you're like, I can't
and it's
even
all Mayo Eats Incorporated or whatever the hell he operates this thing under.
We've had lunchbox calisthenics lately.
Yes. You do what you got to do to
so
get the show done.
So those are the two in Broward, and then the one in Miami. There's a place called
How do you not go Chef Eats? So you got to mention
Pinch
that guy.
Kitchen. Oh, Chefrey Eats. I'm
You
sorry,
discovered the guy.
I didn't.
And that's
Palm
more
Beach
Palm
You
County.
Beach.
discovered
That's
the guy
Palm
that
Beach.
was selling apple cider, and this guy's in a truck like
Palm Beach
in the
County.
parking lot, and now he's the biggest guy going.
Palm Beach County. Chefrey Eats, a truck that's based out of the Barrel of Monks Brewery in Boca Raton.
And he's
Great
award-winning.
burgers. And then we've got in Miami, it's a place called Pinch Kitchen, has great burgers also, and a place called Silver Lake Bistro. Is a French kind of pseudo French brasserie restaurant, but they make a great burger.
Hey,
so there you have
bonjour,
it.
Tony. How about your hamburger?
You asked a simple question, and we gave you a very long-winded answer.
There.
Wow,
Yes.
wow, wow. Well, it's not
If you had
uncommon.
to have
yeah.
fast food, if you had to have fast food,
Fast food. I'm not
burger?
eating fast food, Tony. If it's unless
What's the
I'm
best
drunk
fast
or
food
it's
burger?
the late at night.
A
A
Fast food
Wendy's
burger's
single won't hurt you too bad.
Wendy or the Whopper. The Whopper's a solid burger.
I don't know. I
Jack's
Fast food
hamburgers
goes-
would be my thing.
I
It's
would-
not really fast food
Yeah.
per se,
what?
Yeah.
but I would go to Jack's.
I would rather not.
What?
Jack's,
Jack's
the
hamburgers.
old school Jack's hamburgers.
They're good.
Oh, the ones that are
They
in
still
Pompano
exist,
and
I haven't been for a while, but they have a couple of.
we talked about it. They
They're
were
good.
recently
Our guys bought 'em,
purchased.
right?
Yeah, Sicilian Oven guys bought the two of them.
But they're still
And
running it as Jack's right now, right?
They're still running it as Jack's.
Oh yeah, they
One-
own them. Jack's
Yeah,
burgers.
yeah.
yeah.
It was always a quality burger. You couldn't really go
Well,
wrong.
that's one
Yeah.
of those. They have a big burger. The way they do it is, I think it's also on a flat top grill, but they don't smash it. It's not
No.
one of those smash burgers, but it's just a good old fashioned place because they have that whole fixins bar.
Yeah.
Same thing like Char Hut.
Well, and they'll make
Charm
it
makes a
for
nice
you the
burger,
way
and that's
that you
fast
want
foodish.
it, and it comes out the way that you want it, which I really like about that kind of place. I mean,
yeah.
you want grilled onions? They'll grill them, and it's not like they just man, get that guy's grilled onions. they're like done very very well.
No, and Char Hut,
Char Hut used to
Char Hut
be
does a
like a
good
go-to
job.
the
place.
one that's on State Road 84 in
Yeah,
Davie, I still
Davie's.
like that. They give you a choice of bun. Do you want a seeded
Yeah, with the
poppy
pepper,
roll?
poppy.
Do you want a
Original
regular
owner
bun?
still there?
Yeah,
Char
it's
Hut?
the out of I think Buffalo, New York. It's a family.
Very nice.
Now
people.
they
And there's still one
franchised.
commercial in
No,
Palm
that
Island?
the commercial one is gone.
Oh,
that
it's
was a
totally gone.
franchise location that's no longer with us. The one that's out in Tamarack on, I don't know if it's Nob Hill.
Okay, that's what I mean.
Nob
It's
Hill?
like McNabb.
That's-
You're right. I'm sorry, McNabb and Nob Hill.
That's still there.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's run by the original family or if that one was franchised out. At
There's
one
one
point,
on Commercial Boulevard there near me. Also.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
that's
he's saying.
gone.
They got rid
Oh,
of
it's
that
gone?
one. That
Oh,
one's
yeah.
gone.
That one's
There's like
gone.
two,
Oh, you know what? It might be.
two
You're
or
right.
three, I think,
No,
total now.
it definitely is. I know it went out last year, and it was one of those franchise locations that they tried to do some franchising. But the original family, they still operate the one on State Road 84. I remember back in the day, they used to be all over.
There was
the
one
place.
out west. I
No,
remember
there was one
going to
right by
quite a bit, yeah.
Skyline off
Yeah.
the 25th and
And
University.
There was one.
And that turned into a battery store like 10 years ago.
I first got
Honestly, it's like a battery store.
It's like his Skyline
First-
Chili is now a Valvoline place.
I first got introduced to
Yes, Mike.
Char Hut when it was near the old Dolphins training facility at St. Thomas University.
Yep.
And Craig Dolch, who at the time was the Palm Beach Post beat writer, said, "Oh, I'm going out to Char Hut. Anybody want anything?" And I was a rookie
Yeah, why not?
reporter,
Char Hut was good back in
1989.
the day. Really
And
good.
he'd run
Yeah.
out and bring these burgers back, and I got one cheeseburger char grill. I was like, "Oh wow, I
I
like
used to
these."
love Charlie.
And
Char Hut
They
is
had great fries. They had good
They're
chicken
great
sandwiches.
fries.
Yeah, yeah.
I have not had it in a while, but I may want to go back tonight.
No, Charlotte's solid. I always
Try
loved
Jack's old-fashioned burgers if you
There's
can
not
find
one
yeah.
near me though.
No,
Oh,
if
no?
you're out east, yeah.
Well, 'cause,
Charlotte's
yeah,
not
you
bad.
got to move, Tony. I mean, you
You gotta
you
move.
keep hammering our man from Texas Roadhouse
Tony-
about the Davie location.
Tony is waiting until Texas Roadhouse opens its
Yeah,
Davie
there's
location.
gotta be a
I hope
But
they
they
open one
make-
soon, so you'll have another question. for this guy.
No, but they make a very good burger.
They do.
The Texas
No, they make a
Roadhouse.
great burger.
So as far as
They make a great
places
burger.
you can
Chains,
get good
yep.
burgers,
And that's a big admission by Mayo because in the beginning when we mentioned Texas
The Roadhouse
Roadhouse,
makes
he,
a
went,
great
he
burger.
made the face
Flanagan's
that he
makes a
makes
good
when he goes,
burger.
"Oh, a chain."
Yeah.
But
People
then
that landlubbers make a
you
good
won
burger.
him over by
no,
bringing
I've
him out
had
there. Yeah.
now several
Yeah.
good experience. My first experience at a Texas Roadhouse was, shall
Negative?
I say, not the best. That was the one
Oh.
at Coconut Creek, but it was a very busy holiday week.
Yep.
And then since then, I've gone 4 more times to
Oh,
different
wow. I don't know how many
locations,
times.
Miramar, and then it's become our annual stop on the way back from Tallahassee. Not annual, traditional stop in the one that's up in I don't know if it's Port St. Lucie or just above Port St. Lucie. They have
Very
very
consistent and good.
Yeah. So, hey, let's take our first
That's
break
it?
before. Yeah, that's it. What do you want to do? 20 minutes?
We've done like 40
20 minutes break. That's how we do it here on the Lunchbox.
Let's go.
I
And-
know, all of a sudden, he's like Mr. Format.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
we got to
yeah.
make sure the trains are on time. And Joe Beja, we're going to call him at
here in the
1:30.
Oh, yeah,
second
Beja's
race.
gonna be calling us,
you're
yeah.
losing your mind.
Tropical
gotta
Acres.
call
I
Beja.
haven't really done many live spots this week because we've been busy going around to all these places.
Yes,
but
sir.
Tropical Acres is the place to go for the greatest steaks and the best value. You want to get in there tonight because they still have happy hour in the bar, 4:30 to 6:30, along with regular menu. Dining is great. Monday, Tuesday, half-price wine night. My brother and sister-in-law went there on Tuesday, had some half-price wine. And my sister-in-law got the prime rib. It looked fantastic. And my brother,
Doesn't it taste better in half price, the wine?
yeah.
I mean,
it always does. And my brother got a pork chop there. Don't sleep on the pork chop. It's
chop?
one of the newer menu items, and it's a big, thick-cut, beautiful grilled pork
That's
chop.
what I'd get.
One of the many things that will make you happy. Tropical Acres. It's been in business 75 years. The Studiali family, total pros, masters of hospitality. Go in there, 2500 Griffin Road. If you need a reservation, give them a call, 954-989-2500. Again, 954-989-2500. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we'll be back with more from 10 Palms at Gulfstream after these words. Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen. Delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Trop. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We're at 10 Palms at Gulfstream Park. One man who is not here this week, but he's the man in the right place at the right time today. Usually find him here, the executive director of hospitality at Gulfstream Park, Joe Beja. You're our man about town at the South Beach Wine and Food Festival. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I am actually on the beach today. It is Industry Day at the Goya Tasting Village, which is the Grand Tasting Village. It's great tickets to have for Saturday and Sunday day. But on Friday, it's all open only to like hospitality people that are in the biz and, you know, people that sell beverages and vendors and so forth. So
yes, and I've been out there for both a Friday with the business people and then on a Saturday and Sunday with the masses. I got to tell you, Friday is much more preferable. But what's the scene out there?
It is.
Yeah, you checking things out like new products, new wines. What's your business purpose? Because I know you would never go just to take a day off to eat and drink, Joe.
Actually, I love to see what the newest like pop-up bars are that they do, like the activations. You know, because we do a lot of big race days, so it's always nice when you partner with brands like Kettle One or Don Julio, and you come to on the beach, and they literally have like a full-blown 20 by 20 lounge with sofas and a full bar and back bar. And, you know, it's not just like a pop-up tent with a 6-foot table.
Right.
So, you know, some of the brands really do a great job. Haven't gotten to any new brands yet, but there's always one or two that always like pleasantly surprised me. Last year, it was Charlie Day, the actor, who came out with his combination Irish whiskey, bourbon whiskey called Four Walls, and I was pleasantly surprised by how good that was.
That's nice. And again, you mentioned about, you know, checking out the activations and these couches, and, you know, obviously things have gotten more sophisticated, but you're leading the pack, my friend. I mean, with these events that you throw up in the Flamingo Room on the third floor here at Gulfstream Park, and one of them is coming up in about 8 days and 12 hours. And not that I'm counting the minutes, because it also happens to be March 1st, which is the end of dry February for me. And I'm going to be ringing in a very wet March at your bourbon and barbecue event. How's the ticket sales going, and how are things shaping up?
Ticket sales are going great. We're over 150 at the moment, so we're halfway there. We usually like to cap it at 300 and then sell a few at the door, so we max out at 350. So that's our goal, because we have 350 seats, so the goal is for everyone to have a seat, not to be hunched over while you're eating ribs and holding bourbon drinks and so forth. But we're looking great. We had a meeting yesterday about the food, and Chef Jason's all on it. You know, we've got our full-blown rib station and pulled pork station and stuff. Like, it's a long 18-foot table of barbecue items that we're going to have there, and then we'll have another 12 feet of your favorite sides, like mac and cheese and collard greens and, you know, a few other things. So I mean, it's great. It's no bologna this year, this time around, but
no fried bologna sandwiches,
it was
which I like.
Fantastic. It was really good.
I thought it was good. And again, tickets online, GulfstreamPark.com, and it's the start of a March doubleheader for food events, because also besides the Fountain of Youth Day with the barbecue and bourbon event on March 1st, also March 29th, Florida Derby Day, and you're going to have your elevated You're calling it what? Wines and Derby Day, or
Wine and Derby.
Yeah,
Wine
wines.
and Derby. Actually, it's funny. I was just talking about that because I was in line at the Grey Goose Bar here with
Name dropper. Grey Goose,
yep,
Kettle
with the manager.
Oh, you're making me
Yeah,
nuts.
with the manager of Duckhorn. So I reminded her. I said, "Hey, we're going to be pouring some Duckhorn at my Wine and Derby event." She said, "Put me down. I'm there."
Oh, good. That's a very fine vineyard, Duckhorn Vineyards in California.
Yeah.
Always working, Joe. I love it. I love the way you're rounding up people.
Joe, let me ask you, because you guys have really stepped up the food game between your involvement and then bringing in Chef Jason, like when all of the events. Do you guys ever think about? I know you do your own events, like Mike was just saying. Do you guys ever think about getting involved in any of these events just to showcase that you guys are much more than just a track in a casino?
It's funny you asked that. This year is the first year that we are doing it. We put our toes in the sand or in the water, I guess you could say. We're tonight at 10 o'clock. They have a Bacardi After Dark event at the Surf Comer Hotel, and we have a table there. So we're expecting about 600 or 700 people. So we didn't want to do. We had opportunity to do the Tasting Village on Saturday and Sunday, and we have all that live racing on Saturday and Sunday. Plus the Tasting Village is like 2,000 people. So I was like, let's just see if we can do 600 or 700 before we start going into the big tent.
Yeah, and but it's funny also. Another thing is, I think at one point when the festival was doing events here in Broward County, Gulfstream in the Walking Room was a site of the actual South Beach Festival event. But again, as we mentioned earlier, they've kind of repositioned and are doing things strictly in the 305 again. But it's nice that you guys at Gulfstream and a lot of other Broward restaurants are still able to be involved and represented at the different events. So that's great. So that's tonight. The Bacardi After Dark. At which hotel is that again?
You said Surf Comer. That's really cool.
It's a Surf Comer. It's at the Surf Comer, and just a little plug to Chef Jason and my senior vice president John, who was a former chef. They came up with a cornbread madeleine with creme fraiche and caviar.
Oh my God. That's now you're just teasing us.
Sounds pretty good.
That will be at our table this evening. Nice little, small petite madeleine with the creme fraiche and the caviar. It's fantastic. I tried it.
Can you send some out here, Joe?
Tony's angling.
Tony is angling. That's
today.
Okay.
Like now.
Yeah, give us a sense of the scene out there. How many people are out there today for the In the Biz, industry day there at the Grand Tasting Village, Goya? Grand Tasting.
I mean, I think definitely over 1,000. Could be 2. I arrived a little late. I got here about 12:30, so it opened at 11. That's a little too early in the morning for me to start drinking. So, my younger days maybe, but now, So I'm about to walk into the first tent. I'm still on the beach area where they have all the big, large activations, which is where I like to spend my time to see what they're doing these days.
All right, Joe. Well, we're going to let you go.
Sir.
And we do have a kind of Sobe Fest themed contest today, but I won't make you sit through my meandering clues and all that.
Exactly, like the Grey Goose can then do his thing.
Have fun. And again, not that I'm counting the hours and days and minutes,
so
but
it's not this Saturday.
Next Saturday, March 1st.
Nice.
Fountain of Youth Day is also barbecue and bourbon, and I know you're going to have some of my greatest hits. You got the Redemption will be on hand. Widow Jane in the VIP hour. What else you got? It's
Angels and
we have all the heavy hitters. So there'll be Wild Turkey, Long Branch will be there, which is Matthew McConaughey. Sorry, I'm name dropping. Brown Sugar Bourbon will be there, which is Jamie Foxx's. We have Frazier, and I forget what the last name is, but that's also Bublé's Bourbon will be there. We'll have all the other heavy hitters like Jefferson's will be there for the small batch.
I love the Jefferson's, like that ocean one that they carry out to sea in the casks. I mean, that might be just marketing BS, but the stuff tastes good to me, really so good. It's good. It's really good.
It does. That's one of my favorites at my house, but unfortunately a little too pricey for us to pour off at the Bourbon and Barbecue. So we'll do the small batch.
Nice.
But you might be surprised if you get there for the first hour what we have out there. We got special Bullet 10-year, and a good friend of mine just started a Japanese whiskey company, and I'm stretching the lines because she has Japanese whiskey aged in bourbon barrels. So I'm going to give her a shot and put her out there. So it's going to be some really unique brands and some obviously heavy hitters.
It sounds great, Joe. I hope you get one of those couches from either the festival or maybe one of the luxury suites upstairs, because I might just kind of sneak off with a bottle of one of those Jeffersons and you
I'll
won't
join
see
you.
me again. Pass out.
I'll
Yeah,
join you.
as I join the ranks of the unsober. So that's it.
All right, Joe, have fun for us.
Have a great week and weekend, Joe. We'll see you next week back here at 10 Palms. Thanks. All right.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you very much.
All right, now it's time to start a contest. Are
Let's
you ready,
do it.
Defo? Are you alive in the pick 5?
Did not play. No.
Did not play.
That play. Did
So
not play.
are you alive in any kind of betting
I
activities?
made one wager so far in negativo. One of my horses won the race. The other one was nowhere to be seen.
All good. All right. You know what? I'm going to stretch a little bit. You want to take the second
Let's
break?
take that break and
Let's
then
take the
do
second break, and then we'll come back with the
contest.
contest, and we'll also continue the health report, the Mayo Clinic health
God,
report.
Mayo.
Of course, we had the update on Sally, and she's got a rotator cuff situation.
I'm
We've
fine.
got Tony in his hand, which he,
Oh,
he
yeah.
doesn't like to say, but he had a little, spot of something.
That
and
one looks worse
they
than this
removed
one.
that one.
Oh, God.
And then we've got me.
Oh, you're all bruised up. Look at you.
You know, last week I
I need to stay away from you guys.
I got stitches here.
I feel fine.
Last week I was crowing about how great life was, and this week I've been
Yes.
laid
I
low
know, I know.
by my diverticulitis.
Thank
and
God
I
Defo's
had a-
okay, and I'm okay.
I had a bad condiment incident too, mayonnaise of all things. Talk
I
about
like mayonnaise.
irony. And that's something we'll talk about after these words on the Lunchbox from 10 Palms. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and looking for great seafood that's a little further inland? Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C. 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner, closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the New River. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Voucher champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We're at 10 Palms, and let's get it done. Let's get the contest out of the way. It is time for our weekly Sunday. Oh, and one thing I forgot to announce with Joe is that we have set the date for our upcoming latest
Brunch Bash.
Brunch Bash. It's become a not quite quarterly
It's like a
tradition, but like 3 times a year.
biannual or
Semi-annual.
We do it twice a year
tradition.
now.
Twice a year seems right. April 6th will be the day. We'll give more details, but if you want to come, just RSVP me at MikeMayoEats@gmail.com. And what happens is it'll be a bunch of contest winners there with their friends and guests, and it'll be us. Tony Segreto, you still in town April 6th?
Yes, I'll be here
Can
until the
you
end of
come
April.
and your lovely wife?
Can you? What do you mean? They're like at the rail
Okay.
yelling with the form. His wife's
Val and
classic.
I and, always Lubie, and hopefully
love it. The deep
Defo
man
can make
thing.
an appearance. That's always welcomed. But it's going to be April 6th. Keeneland will be running.
Oh, nice.
So besides having the races here at Gulfstream Park, we're going to be doing some simulcast action. And for those who want to come, who haven't won a contest, Joe Beja graciously knocks 20% off the standard price. So instead of $55 for an all-day brunch with a mimosa included, it's only $44 plus tax and tip. That's a great deal for a all-day buffet. Just omelet
what makes it all
station.
day, that's the thing is, because things can be all day, not every place does the 2-hour thing, but if it's just like breakfast food or just lunch, like they actually have all the kinds of food where you could be here for
You can
2,
have
3
breakfast,
hours,
lunch, dinner, and dessert. And I've been known to do it. I think I've seen Tony do it a little bit too. But it's going to be a fun day. Again, if you want to come, you can RSVP right now to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com. Again, just $44 per person plus tax and tip. It's going to be a great day. All right, so now it's time for the contest. So you email the answer to this week's restaurant trivia questions along with a horse selection for this week's Gulfstream Saturday contest race. And it's going to be race number 9 this week, numbers 1 through 10, a 10-horse field. And the tiebreaker this week is, drumroll, back to NBA action since the NFL is gone. And that is definitely a jarring turn of events for gamblers.
Get into it for us,
But we're going to do a Knicks-Celtics rivalry matchup. That's going to be on Sunday on ABC. So, again, Knicks-Celtics, winning team in margin. Race number 9 tomorrow, numbers 1 through 10. And the restaurant, you send all 3 elements to me at MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by tomorrow, Saturday, February 22nd, noon tomorrow. Otherwise, it goes in the bin. All right, and the contest race is a maiden special race.
Oh, nice.
I love these maiden specials for 3-year-olds going 1 mile and an eighth on the main track. Post time approximately 4:43 p.m. And again, if you go online later on the Let's Eat group, it'll have a link to the entries.
Nice.
It's going to be a couple of nice, promising young colts that are going around 2 turns, some of them for the first time, and a couple of Todd Pletcher horses. That's always my angle. And they're not even the post-time favorites. So it's going to be a fun contest race. All right. Ready for the restaurant?
Okay. We're ready.
For the restaurant this week, we salute this weekend South Beach Wine and Food Festival with a restaurant that was pivotable. Is that a new word?
Sound like Donald Trump
Pivotal.
or George Bush.
I need to start drinking again.
Like making up words.
It was pivotal.
Pivotal.
Late game resiliency.
There you go. Okay, for you.
It was pivotal in the festival's development. All right. This trendy Asian fusion restaurant at the corner of Washington and 5th Street in Miami Beach helped launch South Beach's dining and nightlife renaissance. I got Lenny on.
You're doing well today.
I got to start. I might need. Where's the wine?
We have 1 week. We'll get through it.
Nightlife renaissance when it opened in 1995, one of the hottest spots in town and its first decade. Again, so it opened in 1995, an Asian fusion restaurant the corner of 5th and Washington Avenue. In 2002, the restaurant's owner, Jeffrey Chatterau, convinced festival founder Lee Schrager to move the modest annual FIU Hospitality School fundraiser from campus to a big tent on the sands of Miami Beach. A star event was born. Right, so Jeffrey Chatterau, was the owner of this restaurant,
yeah.
and he helped convince the Lee Schrager, who's the founder of the festival, to move it to
Lee Schrager.
Lee Schrager
is the founder of the Wine and Food Festival.
Right, and he was convinced by Jeffrey Chatterau to move the restaurant.
Chatterau. Okay,
you got
looking
it.
for his
This is we're getting in the weeds here.
You are.
Number 3. The restaurant closed in 2012, but Chatterau went on to partner with nightlife impresario David Grutman to open a next generation iteration in Brickell named Komodo, and that opened in 2005. And there's also talk of a revival of the original in the next few years in the Bal Harbor shops. I don't know if that's actually going to come to fruition. Does anybody have any clue what the name of the restaurant is?
No.
I have no clue.
And it's the name of the country with the largest population in the world. And you add that to something that you throw meat and other items on that's hot and usually has flames.
Okay.
So now people who actually watch the show will get the bonus.
You narrowed it down.
Now do you know what it's called?
Yes.
Okay, good. Do you ever go there, Tony, when you were getting in between the 6 and 11 p.m.
Well,
newscasts?
not this place. Yeah.
Okay.
This place.
This place. We're not going to mention the name.
No.
But it was a hot spot, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. It was.
Yeah.
It was extremely hot.
And it was right down the block from
the 5th Street Gym.
5th Street Gym, which is no longer with us, which is where Ali trains.
Yes.
So there we go. Tangential and very incoherent. That's the way we like it. We got to weed out the competition here. Just Google Jeffrey Chatterau.
I was gonna say the owner guy. I'm
and
sure will
see
give you
which
his full name.
restaurants that he operated.
He's not going to tell you how he spelled it.
No.
CHODOROW.
There you go.
Again, pivotal. It was a pivotal restaurant. Oh my God! Is it
We're
time?
almost there. We're almost there.
It's
there.
I
It's
need
been a
this
fun
week
week,
to end. Last
ladies
week I
and
was on
gents.
top of the world, and this week
You're on the bottom.
laid low. I need something.
We're almost there.
All right, let's take our before we take
final
the third
break.
and final break.
Yeah.
I got to talk about let's talk about Batch because
Yeah, we
it's
haven't
the
talked about them all
weekend,
week,
and weekends at Batch mean great brunches.
Yep.
They have 3 locations serving the greatest in scratch-made Southern cuisine. Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, West Palm Beach on Clematis, West Delray in the Delray Marketplace, and of course downtown Fort Lauderdale, 525 North Federal Highway, and they have the greatest brunch with the unlimited bottomless drinks.
Well, the shrimp and grits is nuts.
And
the
shrimp and
biscuits
grits,
gravy. You
chicken
can
and
get the gravy
waffles.
on the brunch.
They have brunch service on both Saturday and Sunday, and then on long holiday weekends they do it on a Monday
Yeah.
too. I was there this past Monday, and that was great. They had a nice packed house. They take care of you all the time. Those biscuits and that cornbread, I think, might be gone now because it was just a weekend special, but don't miss the biscuits.
Yep.
They are scrumptious. All right, Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Let's take the final break and then get me the heck out of here. For the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima for reservation. Fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. All right, we're back here at 10 Palms at Gulfstream. A lot of excitement. They just ran the third race, an 8-1 shot one. People are screaming. People are clapping. Not me. I'm out of the pick 5, so that's a very sad state of affairs. So this week actually started, really nicely for me. I made, I think, a mistake, and I think we've had this discussion before about expiration dates and various things in your fridge, and at what point, what's the point of no return? So,
yeah, but you're usually neurotic about it. Defo and I are the ones that take chances.
I'm neurotic about
Lubie and I.
Well, Mayo's crazy about it. Defo and I will go, it's 2 weeks.
Lubie,
Mayo's like, it's an hour. It's been an hour.
Lubie and I went to see Louis C.K., which is another topic of discussion. We didn't even mention it all week, but he was great. He was a great show, a 70-minute polished set. It was billed as he's working on new material, and of course, controversial comic because he was canceled. He's done some things in the past. All comics are freaks. I mean, that's basically you got to start with that.
Except Seinfeld.
That we know of.
Yeah, we got him.
That we know of, because remember when everybody thought Bill Cosby was America's
Cosby
dad?
Was the straight-laced
and
dude,
and he upbraided people for cursing or having their underwear showing. Well,
he was
sometimes that behavior covers up some stuff too. But I don't even want to get into it. Louis C.K. was great. But
it was fantastic.
We got back from the performance. I didn't get home till after midnight.
Yeah, it was late.
And I was a little bit hungry. So I went into the fridge, and there was a little leftover turkey club sandwich from Grandpa's, because Val and I went last Sunday. And, turkey club needs mayo on it, right?
Yeah.
And I went in. We didn't bring any mayo back on the side from the restaurant. So I basically went into the fridge. There was a squeeze bottle of Hellman's mayo. Okay. I squirted it on, and then I said,
mayo goes. I keep mayo forever. I don't even know how long the mayo.
Well, that's the thing. You think it doesn't go bad, and then I just without thinking squirted it on. I started eating it. It tasted fine, but then it's like, this one's been around for a while. Like, I brought it with me from my other house.
Jesus.
The expiration date was June of 24.
Oh,
so
Jesus, Mayo. Even I'm like
that's a little
like
longer than expected.
A year.
that would have been
I feel like
out.
I did it.
That had been thrown out a long time ago.
Bad or funky or anything, but
now you wonder why.
Now we know you're
different. But the next morning, there was, let's say, Hellman's to pay. So
oh my God, man.
It and I think that set off the chain of events that it just put my body in a tailspin for the week. And but here we are. We're still battling. So hey, besides the South Beach Wine and Food Festival this weekend, I got to talk about Red Meat Lovers Club is doing a couple of events in upcoming weeks.
Nice.
Our friend Evan Darnell. You want to go online to rmlclub.com, and they're having one at the Warren Restaurant, which is a great whiskey bar and restaurant up in Delray. That's this Monday coming up, the 24th. And then they're also having a takeover event of Runway 84. Our friend Anthony Bruno and Mark Falsetto give the restaurant up to them on a Monday night when they're usually closed. It's going to be Monday, March 10th. It's going to be a great time. All kinds of good charity auction items, all kinds of good fun and friendship, and food and beverage too. So go online to get your tickets today for those two. Any plans for you for the weekend there?
I don't. Well, we're actually gonna. It's funny because we were thinking of. We haven't gone out to brunch in a long time, and Shirley loves brunch. And then we were at Wild Time at the Atlantic Hotel on Fort Lauderdale Beach, and the weather. It's funny. The weather was already nice. Now, of course, it's going to be cold, so that's when I want to head to the beach. But the brunch looks so cool, and I know they're going to start going to do like old school brunch where it's a buffet style. But they have these brunch boards you guys were talking about, and we haven't tried it yet. Now, my only dilemma is it feels like a lot of food. So I was going to ask you off air about this brunch boards, but I made a reservation for tomorrow. I didn't reach out to Steve. I did it on my own. Online was very easy.
I'm proud of you.
I know. I was almost going to get your help. You didn't answer the phone. So
I was in bed.
I'm not.
Suffering.
I mean, are you kidding me? So, but yeah, tomorrow we're going to Wild Time at the Atlantic. And we have a reservation, and then we're going to hang out at the beach. I didn't realize it's going to be 50s, but that's fine. It's a beautiful day, and I'm really going to enjoy our South Florida weather.
I'm glad you're going to check it out because that brunch board, again, if it's two people, they'll construct it just for two, so it's not overwhelming. They usually do it like per person. So if you got four, they'll put enough for four people.
It seems like a really cool idea, and we've never tried it.
And it's a good place. And Steve DePuzzo, good guy. And we like all of his places, including the house on the river. Tony, any plans for the weekend?
Yeah, my daughter's coming in town.
Oh, nice.
And so she's going to spend the week with us. So we'll hear her escapades in Amsterdam. And
nice. Good for her.
And so
what was she doing there? Was there world championships and something?
This work related or fun? She was finally taking
vacation.
a vacation. Good for her.
Oh, really? I used
all
to
by herself,
vacation in Amsterdam.
You know, all
your
by
vacation is
herself,
different than his daughter.
all by herself.
All by
and,
herself.
By herself.
Oh, good for her. Yeah,
And he kept mom and dad up at night and nervous wrecks. But
did she take in the culture? Like the Rijksmuseum is one of the world famous thing. All those
Van
old
Gogh
Rembrandts.
Museum. And
do you know my claim to fame is I once went to Amsterdam and I got so high that I got mugged twice in a half hour.
Mayo.
I didn't get mugged, but I got really high and
and it was one of those things where you just couldn't. I was wandered into a bad stretch of town.
The red light district.
And the first guy got whatever money was in my pocket.
How do you have money left to get mugged?
No, and the second time, the first guy was with a knife.
He was the first mugger. You have money left.
The second guy, this was in the early 90s, and he came at me with what he said was an AIDS-infected needle, which is a novel approach. And I just said, I just already gave everything. I got nothing, and I just sprinted. And this was back when I was still young and svelte, and I just got the heck out of there.
I went to Amsterdam in 1968.
Oh, wow.
It's a long time ago. And spent a lot of time in the red light district.
Oh, wow. Good for you, Tony.
To that. Yeah,
it's a different Tony Segredo.
Yeah. It's
no. I just looked at it.
Oh, you were just looking. You were just window shopping. Have you ever been to Amsterdam?
I have not. No.
Wow. If you went there, I don't think you would ever leave.
I had a chance to go in college, but I'm a red-blooded American. I didn't want to leave American soil. I was having too much fun at the Cuse, and I thought, why would I want to spend the semester there? Now I regret it. But
it's a unique place, and it's also the home of Heineken. I used to go take tours at the Heineken factory.
We had enough money left over to just have to drink our way out of Amsterdam.
That's it. That's always got to just make sure you have that right amount to get out of there.
That's what we had left.
All right, Defo, any big plans this weekend? Or are you just going to be hitting the usual spots?
Same old MO.
Okay. Well, we hope Mustang is on the road to recovery and is at least able to work or pull a few winning slots. Because that is obviously integral to the happiness of the household. Meanwhile, I'm going to be going to a South Beach Wine and Food Festival event, but not in South Beach, down in Coconut Grove. They're having an event with our friend Dan Lebitard and Belkis Nere of Channel 7. Belkis I know from my food days, but it's an event that is kind of locals, hosted by locals for local chefs, and Jeremy Ford will be there, our friend. Some chefs that I've given really good reviews to, and some chefs that I've given really bad reviews to. It's going to be an interesting night for me, but going with Val and her sister who lives down there. And it's nice because it's not as crowded as the big white tents. So looking forward to that. I don't even know the venue, but it's Grove Bay Hospitality that operates a number of restaurants all over the Miami area. They are the sponsoring the event, and But anytime Jeremy Ford is
Oh
involved,
yeah, he's there and he's actually involved. Like
yeah,
cooking and
he'll be
chef.
cooking
Okay.
and like because he's involved with Grove Bay is one of his partners on like 3 of his restaurants.
wow.
So yeah, it's going to be a fun time. All right, no matter what you do this weekend,
Have a great
enjoy
weekend. Be
yourself,
safe,
take
guys.
care, and we'll see you on Tuesday. We're going to be
We're off Monday.
going to be off on Monday, so we'll have a little encore edition from Casa Calabria, which is a great place. Another place
Yeah,
to
that's a great
consider
weekend place.
if you want waterfront dining this weekend.
Yeah.
And even though it's going to be colder, indoors, so you get a view of the beach, but it's a great place for really good Italian food, dinner only. Casa Calabria at
It's a
the
great
Ocean
weekend spot.
Manor Hotel. All right, that's going to do it. We'll see you again live Tuesday. And until then, enjoy every sandwich.